Hey everybody, it's Bruno on NB. Welcome back again. Episode 2 is the new font, right? With my good friend Monica Aurora Burr from Digital Monk Marketing. There's a lot of M's in there, M&M's. So Monica, thank you very much for braving the second attempt to break the code on NB.
Thanks for having me.
So, we had a great first session. You talked about women in leadership and leadership in general and how it's changed the women's leadership landscape. This one here, I kind of want to get a freebie from you. That being like, you're a digital marketing expert, and I don't use that term lightly, like you're in it, you're not dabbling in it. If I were to ask you, this is tough, but you kind of work with medium to small to medium-sized businesses, right? Number one thing that businesses need to do before, after, during their digital media, whatever they're doing, what is that? And I'm sure you do it at your company.
Yeah, it's actually pretty basic. It's really them understanding who they are. A lot of small to medium-sized companies really look up to some of the larger companies and say, we want to be them. And when we try to be somebody that we're not, we're actually not being authentic to who we are. And not just as individuals, but as a business. Mm-hmm. Every business has its own heart and soul that is different and unique from its competitors. And instead of spending so much time figuring out what our competitors are doing and how they're being successful, take that same energy and figure out who you are, why you are in this business, and how you're bigger and better than your competitors. Not by focusing on your downfalls, but really focusing on your true offering. Every business is different because the owners are different, their intentions are different. So really focusing on the authenticity of who you are than trying to copycat somebody else because they look and appear bigger than you are.
And I always viewed like digital marketing as, and I say digital because marketing is marketing as far as I'm concerned. It's just a vehicle, but it's almost like getting a bicycle and going into the ocean and trying to get to the other side. It's just, sometimes you're like pedaling a bike in water. I don't get it. What is the one thing that you and Digital Monk Marketing does that nobody else even comes close to you guys? I know it sounds like a little bit promoting, but that kind of opens up my eyes and the viewers' eyes as to maybe the first thing you need to do with digital marketing.
I think it's really about doing that big deep dive when you first start with a client, really understanding what their motivators are. I know it's easy to say, we just want more revenue, Monica. That's why we're hiring you. We want to make more sales. We want more clients. But that using what vehicle to get there. So, I mean, in marketing, we know specifically in the digital options, there's a ton of options of making that a reality. But we have to really figure out what vehicle is going to work best for you. And we can only do that by doing a super deep dive of who you are, what you do, what your offerings are, how they're different. What is your team like? How's your team different? All these little pieces make a collaboratively together, make your business. So when we do a deep dive, really understanding all these pieces of your business, we can actually make decisions that are going to create the longevity of your business and create that revenue stream by really diving deep.
Okay. So, Monica, what is, I guess, the ideal client that you want to work with, or you make the biggest impact for? Because you can work with anybody, I guess. So who would that be, or what would that look like?
I love working with small to medium-sized companies. The willingness for them to see how this marketing is going to work for them, and their open-mindedness. The more open-minded you are about your marketing and the more easy you are to pivot, to make changes to your communication, to your strategy, the better and the more successful you're going to be. Because now you're able to pivot when you need to pivot. You're not stuck on anything. A lot of times business owners have such an ownership over their messaging because it's close to their heart. It's their baby, that they sometimes can't see what others can see. And so as a marketing company, sometimes it's so obvious to us why something's not working. And it's not so obvious to them, and they're so stuck on it. So the clients that are really open-minded to seeing a holistic approach and not being tied to anything are generally the most successful ones, because they take our expertise, they trust our expertise, and then they implement accordingly. It's the ones that sometimes they think they know marketing better than you do, which then they get so stuck in their ways, and that's where we get campaigns that aren't as successful as they should be.
One of the things that I remember talking to you, and your style is really good because you're super well brought up and you're very polite and you come from, the good side of the world. But you kind of sent the message to me that if you're not willing to work really hard on this and commit to it, it's not going to work. So you said it really politely, but I don't think you really want to work with people that are just like really desperate and the last straw and I got no money, and if you make me money, I'll give you money. That kind of bullshit. I mean, you said it politely, but correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You have no idea how many people approach us and say, so when I get paid, you get paid. And, that model doesn't work for anybody, because it comes from a place of lack. So, and a disbelief in marketing, really. And as we all know, if you have a disbelief in something, it's just not going to work for you anyway, no matter how good that marketing company is, because you have already put this decision in your mind that whatever you do is not going to work. Prove me wrong. Those are not the type of people that really anyone wants to work with, to be honest, because they've already put you in that space that you're not going to be successful.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I agree with you. It's frustrating because it's hard enough to prove yourself to yourself that now you got to prove yourself to somebody who's failed several times. That's the only reason why they're coming to you. Or they're too cheap and they've gotten fired from their marketing firm. And they're like, do references. I always say this, sorry, I'm pontificating here, but do your references on your clients if you're a supplier. Find out if they have a victim mentality. And you really, I mean, you really go down that road of you work hard, I'm motivated, I'm going to work even harder than you, and I love that about you.
Thank you. I think just, even in your business, Bruno, you know the right questions to ask to know if the partnership's going to work out. And you probably know within the first, 2 to 3 minutes of taking any new call from a client or potential client if it's going to work out, because the questions that they're asking you, the place that they're coming from in their business, the stories that they're telling you within those couple of minutes, you already know if it's going to be a good match for you or not.
Yeah, that victim mentality thing only goes so far if you own a business. And I tell people, whoever's listening, like if you hear 3 strikes, I love baseball. People, my viewers know that, but it's like after 3 strikes of saying the world is terrible, it's raining, it's snowing, and the market is this, market is that. And then I say, you know what, you shouldn't be running a business. I mean, pretty much. So just try to get a job and be a little happier. But that being, it's true. I don't know.
I get you. It's going through the ebbs and flows of business. If you're not built for it, you can't sustain it. You have to be able to go through the ebbs and flows of business. And I think that's something that it should be a prerequisite to being a business owner.
Well, the thing is, like you're going to laugh at this one, I know, but if you throw up on roller coasters, then just stay on the kiddie rides. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's running a business. It's 99% speculation, 1% hard work. It's like, and people laugh at me. I'm like, yeah, but it's not that hard work is not important, but that 1% is really, really, you got to work really, really hard, but you got to take chances. You got to figure it out. Not everything's for real, especially marketing. They see this magic thing called marketing and they say, well, go get me 50 clients. Okay, that's great. I'll get you 50 clients, but can you close them and are you solving their problems? So I'm kind of hard on that because I got caught in it, right?
Yeah, and I think in the beginning of any business, it's easy to get caught up in that. And I think that comes with experience as being a business owner as to how to catch those types of people that aren't going to be successful, no matter who they're using, no matter who they're talking to, because they're in that victim mentality. The cup is always half full. Sorry, no, the cup is always half empty. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's never going to change. And so I guess to the success of any business owner or anybody in a job is your mindset. You're only as successful as your mind allows you to be.
Well, you know what, Monica, I'm going to touch on a little something. If you want to share this, share some of maybe your daily routine, like when you get up, even sleep. And I think that'll show our viewers on how
How
serious you are
important?
about what you do. Like, because
Yeah,
I was blown away. Even me, the nut job of all nut jobs, I'm just like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. So
it's funny
walk
because
us through.
I don't ever talk about this publicly. It's
Well, you don't have to say exactly what you do at every moment, but
yeah, no, but I mean it's important, and it's so in the last couple of years I really started to understand how the brain works, how the conscious and subconscious mind work, to be successful. And successful means something very different to everybody. Success to me doesn't just mean monetary success; it also means mind, body, health success. And when you have a strong foundation, all of those things can come true. And that foundation is your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. So we have the ability to actually program our subconscious mind to be successful humans. Just like a computer, we can program our computer to do certain tasks really well, with code, right? Our subconscious mind works very similarly. So it comes down to like a very basic programming, like saying something like, when our kids are like, "Mom, I'm so stupid." Well, that becomes a belief system that you're stupid and that you're not smart and that you can't do the things that smart people can do. But if you're constantly telling yourself, or other people are praising you, you're so smart and you're so this and you're so successful, that becomes a part of your belief system, and then you start acting from that place. You start actually seeing the world from that lens, that I am a successful person. I have a belief system that I'm a successful person, and the world and the universe will show me that I'm a successful person. So if I have a mindset that I'm not a successful person, that I'm stupid, the world will mirror that back to me as well. So how do you want to program your mind? Right? And so I think the more we understand that everything in life is literally just a mindset, and how we've programmed our subconscious mind to allow us to see the world in that way. It's just a program that's running. So I spend a lot of time to really be careful of what I'm reading, what I'm watching, how I am speaking to myself, all of those things, because that really that filtering system allows you to understand how you perceive the world. And just going back to our last comment, those clients that are those victim mentality, that's their mindset. That's their subconscious mindset, that is how the world is. But if we can change that and flip it out, we can see a really beautiful world that mirrors back success.
so as a side note, you get up at noon to do this?
4 a.m.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at too.
That's what you
It's
were
like
getting at.
you got to get up really early to beat Monica at her game, because you're ready to go, you're excited, and when you're on a call, you're ready to go. Like I rarely met too many people that are ready, super crazy to go. And I think this is the community we're trying to encourage. Because you've introduced me some people, I've introduced you some people, and it's just like, my God, what energy crisis, right? Like, let's just plug in the car and go, right? You don't need that. But I want people. So this is the anti-promotion. People think that people come on my show to promote their company. I'm anti-promoting you by saying, if you're a victim mentality type of person, you are desperate, you're not committed, you're dabbling in your business, do not call Monica.
Agreed.
Is that fair?
100%.
Right. I'm not the best seller of advertising, am I? But it's true, right? And that's the feeling I get from you.
I think that you've hit on something really important, really understanding who you want to work with. A lot of us, especially when we first start our business, our mentality is we'll work with anybody who wants to work with us, right? And so once you start creating those boundaries and those disciplines on who you work best with, that's when you see the most success. That's how you see the most success in your business and the success in others' business. Like, so if you're a B2B business, you really want to work with other B2B businesses that have the same mentality as you, right?
I 100% agree with you. And I think I always say this all the time, is that either you suck the energy out of the room or you put it in. And you definitely put the energy into, and you don't deliver all rosy and peachy and fuzzy type messages. Sometimes the marketing's not working, and you say, Bruno, you got to get on this, right? And I'm like, oh, got to do this. But now we're going to give the opportunity to get to know you a little bit. So take a deep breath. I hope you know the answers to all these questions, because I gave you a self-study guide and everything like that. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Monica Aurora Burr. What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
Everybody says pizza. That's crazy. You
It's
got to be Italian.
universal. That's the
Little
first thing that
Caesar's
comes to
Pizza.
mind. What's that?
Little Caesar's Pizza. So I think you've had a few of those. Okay. Favorite restaurant?
Ooh, favorite restaurant would be Jury's, Thai food on 16.
Okay. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Truman Show.
Wow. Haven't heard that one. Favorite actor?
Ooh, Keanu Reeves. Is that his
Really?
name? Yeah,
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. I knew I was saying it wrong. Keanu Reeves.
I don't even know if I'm saying it wrong, but we're moving along. So the Matrix guy.
Yes.
Okay. Favorite song?
Favorite song. Ooh, wow, these are good questions. Oh, I have so many. Okay. My original favorite song that I've always loved is This Is How You Do It by Montel Jordan, like a really old one. Do you know that song?
Oh, really old. Oh, it's
Really
so
old. Like, that's teaching me. But like,
wow.
how it was just one of those songs that you can never get sick of.
For a guy like me, that's a new song. So anyways, this is a trick question. Don't want to lead the witness. Favorite band?
Ooh. Ooh.
Hmm.
Oh, Bruno!
I'm just joking. The ZBs, excluding the
right.
ZBs.
The ZBs. Okay, now this is not rapid fire anymore because I'm thinking too long on it. Originally, my favorite band was Nirvana back in the day.
Good choice. Great choice. Place that you've traveled to that's been your favorite?
Italy.
Wow. Which part was your favorite?
Florence.
Everybody says that. That's great. It's a beautiful place. Place that you would love to visit, but you haven't visited?
Bali.
Nice place too.
Yeah.
It's a long flight though. How about somebody that you would love to meet that's alive right now and ask him a couple of questions or punch him in the face?
Adam Sandler.
Really? That's crazy. You know, a realtor friend of mine in Naples went to school with him in Massachusetts.
Oh, really? And what was their feedback on him?
Oh, well, I can't speak for Greg, but I think it was pretty cool. I mean, he's just a goofy guy and became really famous.
That's why I like him so much. He doesn't pretend to be anything else but what he is, and that's. I mean, I could have said anybody. There's tons of people who've inspired me, but I just love his authenticity. He doesn't care. He is who he is. That's it. He doesn't fall into all of this Hollywood BS. He's just content being him.
Yeah, he was canceled before cancel was a thing, and he came back, I guess. Somebody that you would like to meet, but has passed away in all of history.
Einstein.
Okay, why?
I would love to ask him questions about quantum physics.
Wow, okay. You know, he gets up at 4 a.m. too. So how about, do you have a nickname?
I do, Momo.
Momo? Okay, are we allowed to call you that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good name. I don't even know if you follow sports, but what's your favorite sports team?
I don't follow sports at all. I'd lie if I just made something up.
So the New York Yankees.
Sure.
Okay, you're in the club. Now, here's the part that you get to ask me just one question. Make it as easy as possible.
Ooh.
So,
who inspired you growing up? It could be a public figure, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, just inspiring you to be better or inspired you just to be somebody in life.
You know, I have to say that if you asked me this question when I was a kid, I'd come up with a whole bunch of different names. And I remember, you know, the most famous hockey player of all time, Hayley Wickenheiser. I had an opportunity to meet her more than a couple of times through my friend Wally Kozak. And I remember years ago, she was way more mature than her age back then. And I asked her the same question. I said, who was your hero growing up? And he said, you mean my favorite hockey player? And I said, yeah, your hero. She goes, my hero are my parents. And my favorite hockey player was Mark Messier, right? And I was like, holy smokes, like she's way younger than I am. And I was so impressed with that I've always kept that answer if ever somebody asked me. And I think the two people that inspired me the most to be somebody, I think in order, but really, really close, are my mom and dad. You don't realize how kick-ass they are, until you're a little older. Like my favorite sports person was Bobby Clark, and my favorite football player was, Conrad Holloway that I met. And then I met Bobby Clark and he was having a bad day and it wasn't that memorable, and they're just human beings, right? And they just do great things.
Yeah.
They just do great things on Sunday or Thursday night while you're watching the game, and it's very inspirational. But day in, day out, every minute of every day of my life, you can't come close to my mom and then my dad. And my dad's like 0.001%, because I just found that my mom was just, we connected that extra 1%, just because I worked with my father, and it's a little bit more worker slash boss relationship slash then you're my son, right? And he had to do that. Like, no animosity whatsoever, but I learned so much. Unfortunately, the one thing that I took from my mom and I put into business that's hurt me, and I said this many times, I've been cursed with my mom's heart at business, because she would take anybody in, help anybody, this, that, and the other thing. You just can't do that in business, right? So after several years of running businesses, is like, ooh, got to do your due diligence a little bit more, So yeah, thanks for that question. That's a really good question. So they're my heroes. But so Monica, I want to thank you, bottom of my heart. I know how busy you are, and I know the schedule you run, and it's a real pleasure to have you on my show, in our network, in our lives, and in my business. You're helping me out quite a bit. So I really thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Bruno, for the opportunity to do the show with you and really get personal.
And you know what, everybody, you got to reach out to Digital Monk Marketing and Monica and find out if you guys are good for each other, because you'll see a big difference. So thank you very much, Monica.
Thanks, Bruno.
See everybody.